Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. Let's talk about something that really matters to a lot of folks out there, whether you're retired, planning for retirement, or just looking out for loved ones who depend on Social Security, including SSI, SSDI, veterans, survivors, and spousal benefits. Today, we're discussing Social Security and the upcoming cost of living adjustment, or COLA, for 2025. You might be thinking, what exactly is COLA, and why is it important? Well, COLA stands for Cost of Living Adjustment, and it's an annual increase in Social Security benefits that's designed to keep up with inflation. This adjustment ensures that as the cost of living goes up, so does the amount of money that people receive from Social Security. It's especially important for those who rely on these benefits as a significant part of their income. Now, here's the latest update for August. The new estimate for the 2025 COLA is 2.57%. This is a bit lower than what was predicted just last month, which was 2.63%. So, what's behind this slight dip? Well, inflation cooled off a little more in July, dropping to 2.9% from 3% in June, which has directly impacted the COLA projections. While this decrease might sound disappointing, especially compared to the 3.2% increase we saw for 2024, it's still an increase that can help, even if it's not as large as many might have hoped. To put this into perspective, let's take a quick look back. In recent years, the COLA has been much higher due to elevated inflation rates. For example, in 2022, the COLA was 5.9%, and in 2023, it shot up to 8.7%. Those were significant increases that helped Social Security recipients cope with rapidly rising costs. But now, with inflation starting to cool off, the COLA for 2025 is predicted to be much more modest. So, how exactly is this COLA calculated? The Social Security Administration uses the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, or CPI-E, to determine the adjustment. They look at the changes in this index from July through September each year. This index reflects the changes in prices for goods and services that people typically buy, which helps gauge how much the cost of living has gone up and, in turn, how much Social Security benefits should increase to maintain purchasing power. But here's something important to keep in mind. While a lower COLA might seem like bad news, it's actually a sign that inflation is cooling off. And that's good for the broader economy. Lower inflation means that prices aren't rising as quickly, which should help everyone's money go further. However, still, many seniors are still feeling the pinch. Most seniors have said that high prices, driven by inflation, have forced them to dip into their savings. And also that their monthly budgets for essentials like housing, food, and healthcare are higher than they were last year. This shows that even though inflation is cooling, the cost of living is still higher than many people can comfortably manage. One thing to consider is how much these rising costs affect those on fixed incomes. For someone receiving the average Social Security benefit of about $1,827 per month, a 2.57% increase would add roughly $47 to their monthly check. It might not seem like much, but when you're trying to make ends meet, every little bit helps, whether it's covering the rising cost of groceries, utilities, or medical expenses. Another thing to think about is how the Federal Reserve's interest rates play a role in all of this. Higher interest rates tend to cool off inflation, which in turn can lead to lower COLAs. This year, with interest rates remaining high, we've seen some cooling in inflation, but it's still not back to pre-pandemic levels. That's why many seniors are calling on Congress to do more to ensure their Social Security benefits keep up with inflation, including potentially changing the way COLA is calculated to better reflect the spending patterns of older Americans. Now, you might be wondering, what's the takeaway here? Well, it's important to stay informed and understand how these changes can impact you or someone you care about. Even though the COLA for 2025 might not be as high as some had hoped, it's still a critical adjustment that can help protect against the rising cost of living. And it's a reminder of how important it is to plan carefully for the future, especially when it comes to managing your retirement income. So, what's next? Well, we'll have to wait until October for the official announcement of the 2025 COLA. In the meantime, it's a good idea to keep an eye on these developments and think about how they might affect your financial situation. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope this conversation has given you a better understanding of what's happening with Social Security and what to expect in the coming year. And if you found this information helpful, please share it with someone who might benefit from it. Take care of yourselves and each other out there, and I'll see you next time.